Hey guys, welcome back to another DCAU movie review. I hope you're all having a nice, let me check the date, 24th night. So a quick management note before we get started. If for some reason any of you were looking for my most recent review on the Teen Titans vs. Justice League on my YouTube page, that video got copyright claimed because I used a Ramones song for a joke for a few too many seconds, I guess. So that video got taken down. I'll figure it out and get it up eventually. But for now, enjoy a review of the next Teen Titans movie in the DCAU, Teen Titans, The Judas Contract. What does that mean, even? So the film begins and immediately hits us with a 5 years ago on the screen. Hey writers, why would you need to tell me 5 years ago when the film hasn't even started yet? Just start the movie here. Tell us 5 years later once the sequence is over. This is dumb. Anyways, we see the titular Teen Titans. This time a different group than we've seen in previous films, which you could argue justifies the 5 years ago message at the beginning of the film, but I would argue a film should exist independently and not rely on the context of other films, because the film on its own does not need that opening message. But whatever, I guess I'll move on. I have to move over for images. Our team here consists of a young Dick Grayson as Robin, who's the Robin that most of us grew up with. But in these films, we've seen as Nightwing. Kid Flash, I'm covering up my thing, Beast Boy, Bumblebee, and Speedy. Wait, so the Flash-looking kid is named Kid Flash. Okay, that checks out. But there's also a kid named Speedy? And the kid named Speedy is like an archer, even though he looks a lot more likely to be sneaking around and stealing your wallet? What? Bad character names aside, Beast Boy makes a Twitter reference. How relatable. Before they all stumble onto an alien brawl between Starfire and some parademons? Why the fuck are there parademons on Earth and Darkseid isn't involved? What is happening? Well, maybe that's because they're not parademons, which I find slightly hard to believe, seeing as this is what they look like in the film, and this is what a parademon looks like. Don't tell me they don't look similar. They do. And you'd be lying to me. And that's mean. This is gonna be one of those films. So strap in. Because, this ride's about to get bumpy. These Wish.com parademons are actually soldiers sent by Starfire's evil older sister, Blackfire. Uh-oh, DC. They're trying to forcibly bring Starfire back to her home planet. Robin sees a hot space babe, though, and he knows he must save the hot space babe. So he calls the Titans into action against what he assumes are foes. I mean, they're not hot space babes. One is a hot space babe, and the others aren't hot space babes. So I think it's kind of clear here. I think it's very clear. Too bad the parademons, they definitely fight back. They were named like Jeff and Keith. And both of them lost their jobs once they get fought back through the portal where they retreat through. They lost their jobs. One of them gets murdered in the night. Fuck you. Can I get some F's in the chat for Keith and Jeff? I'm so sad. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh, that makes me so sad. Anyway, so they got fought back through the portal. And afterwards, Starfire immediately kisses Dick. Robin. But don't worry, it's not sexual assault. Tamaranians just learn other languages instantly through kissing. It's totally okay. Flash forward those 5 years. Grumble, grumble, they should have just done this. Grumble, grumble. And we see some obviously evil people loading up trucks with high-tech equipment. I don't know what's going on. Do you? No. Shut up. But not to fear. The Teen Titans are on their way. This time made up of... It's a very long list. Starfire, Nightwing, Beast Boy, Raven, Blue Beetle, the one and only fuck-a-boy, Damian Wayne. He's back as Robin, baby, you know it. And there's one new face as well. A young girl named Tara, who, you guessed it, has Earth powers. The innovation that excites. And on the subject of Tara, get used to absolutely hating her, because I can't elaborate enough just how much she truly sucks all the ass. I fucking abhor this child. She's the worst. She's just the worst, and she maintains her position as the worst the entire film. And to be honest, they kept that because she's a character from maybe comics as well, I don't know. But she's a character from the Teen Titans show, and she sucked just as much back then. Before the Teen Titans raid the facility, Nightwing decides to give us a little bit of exposition. The bad guys we saw before loading up those trucks were members of a terrorist cult run by some fucker named Brother Blood. The Titans fight their way through the villain's facility, beating up some dudes and power loaders from aliens. Wait, how did you get here? Well, that's just a power loader from aliens. Well, now I'm done seeing one of those power loaders from aliens, and that's ding dang one of them. No, I don't think so. I don't think you can just do that. Damian compliments the bad guys.
They've prepared well. Their reaction time is much better.
Robin, stop complimenting the bad guys.
Starfire makes a sex joke.
Do that move you taught me last weekend.
Now? I admire your boldness, but what will the team think?
What?
Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Your boy just figured out how to put in movie clips. Ooh, shit, this changes the whole game, baby. Anyways, at the same time, we see a villain who the wiki called Mother Mayhem shoot 2 of her own allies before escaping in a truck.
Your service has come to an end.
Wow, 49 minutes since the last snap. That's a new record. Sorry, I'm writing this as I go. Where'd we leave off? Ah, yes, Mother Mayhem just shot her allies. Well, she might have gotten away, but at least the Titans have stopped this illegal operation. That's enough, right? Right? Please? It's not. Oh, it's so definitely not. Well, no worries. Right now. Because back at the Titans Tower, Tara's whining about people being nice to her. Oh, she does that so much. And Nightwing and Starfire have decided to move in together. How sweet.
By the way, I should offer congratulations on your cohabitation, Grayson. Starfire has proven herself to be a decent leader. I approve.
Thank you.
Over at Brother Blood's Blood Spa, he's meeting up with Mother Mayhem, who's voicing her worries about the Teen Titans. It seems like this facility wasn't the first time they've meddled in their plans. He tells her not to worry, referencing a mysterious third party who will keep the Titans at bay.
I've foreseen it. Plus, I pay the bastard enough.
Skipping over a few scenes of Tara talking, who gives a shit, we see Brother Blood testing out a new machine on some 100% definitely willing participants, which gives them super strength and super resilience, I guess. And even though a crowbar swing to the chest does absolutely nothing, an incredibly low-caliber silenced bullet is able to insta-kill them. Well, that's just science. That's just how that darn science works. Night falls on Titan's tower, but suddenly the entire building starts shaking. This seems to be a bit of a recurring problem, though, because the Titans all immediately run over to Tara's room, who seems to be having a nightmare. They wake her up, and once more, she's just the worst and thanks no one and is just... she's worst. Anyway, additionally, it seems that this Tara business is causing the whole team to be on edge, so not only does she suck, she's making everyone else suck. It's great, I love it. Thank you for making this movie. Infighting amongst the Titans? Robin acting hot-headed? Well, now that sounds a heck of a lot like something Deathstroke would do. And surprise! It is old Slade Deathstroke Wilson. How is he not dead in the last film he was in? I don't know, he died at that film. Don't know how he got out. But then again, Ada Wong gets out of Resident Evil 2, so who gives a shit? And he's revealed as the aforementioned mysterious third party by Brother Blood.
You of all people should know that. What do you want, Blood?
Writing the second half of this review was, well, you'll see. We come back to see the Teen Titans sparring against one another, but first, a quick example on how a spar should go from Starfire, the team leader, against Nightwing. Her, boyfriend, husband, I don't know at this point. They're definitely living together.
You did very well. You lasted far longer this time. I meant in training, of course. He's very proficient when we have...
Corey!
As Beast Boy fights Tara, however, he accidentally triggers some apparent PTSD, which whisks us away to Flashback Land. Man, DC really loves Flashback Land. I love visiting there. It's got a nice beach, I guess. Also has child abuse. So I'm gonna be real. This is where the film decides to get needlessly graphic. So content warning, I will be covering scenes that involve child abuse. It's not a joke. So if you can't handle talking about that, I very much recommend not. Oh, but you don't need to worry, I'm not going to be showing any of that. I'm just talking about it. So in the flashback, we see that Tara is just a child, and she's being beaten up by a mob of adults. One of them, even at the very end of the flashback, pulls a gun on her. It's ambiguous what happens. Obviously, she doesn't get shot, or at least she isn't killed. Anyway, this memory causes Tara, in the present, to go absolutely ballistic on Beast Boy. She throws him back with a rock tornado and nearly kills him with an onyx.
She's going to kill him!
Hold up, give me a playback on that one. I think we need some zoom and enhance. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nothing becomes of this, by the way. Absolutely nothing. No consequences for her actions. That night, however, Tara sneaks out of the tower, and Damien, who is the only one who suspects anything bad of her, which is really annoying, basically is the only one in this film who isn't an idiot constantly. And that's just, I feel like that's a contradiction for the little fucking boy. So he tails her. Unluckily for him, though, Tara was going to meet up with Deathstroke. That's right, Tara is also a traitor. I have no mouth, but I must scream. Literally no one's gonna get that reference. What am I doing? So Damien is captured, which sucks, because that means he's not gonna be in the film again until the climax, which, I must reiterate, sucks. Now what comes next is truly abhorrent, so triple content warning. If you can't handle hearing talk about child issues, then skip past a few snaps. I'll be waving my hand at the start of once I'm done talking about it, so you can skip past it. We see Tara, who is at most 15, dressed up in a nightie, wearing heavy makeup, trying to have sex with Deathstroke. And honestly, fuck the writers for including this in the script. I know Deathstroke is not unfamiliar with manipulating children, specifically. I mean, we see that in the Teen Titans animated show, where he does the same with Robin. He even does try to groom Robin as like an heir, and he definitely does emotionally manipulate him. Sexual grooming is a whole different territory, and I don't think it should ever be included in really any media. There's no point. This is not the place where you talk about that. It does not need to be in a fictional property, ever. It never is needed. Do not do this. It's horrible. But I'll be talking a lot more about this in my thoughts. For now, the only thing to keep in mind is Deathstroke sexually grooms children now. This is a character assassination. And a bad one. Yoo-hoo! Hello! Hello! Hi, welcome back. Bet you feel lucky that you skipped, or if you didn't, it sucks, doesn't it? Sucks, don't it? Yep, I've watched this film twice now, and that's at least 3 times too many. Thankfully, Damien totally kills Deathstroke in dialogue, and it's great.
Shame you're missing it.
You should go. Playing with teenagers is about your speed.
Really? You're down to hoping I'm gonna act like the biggest stooge in a B-movie?
Your outfit said give it a shot.
Thanks, Damien. Basically, Deathstroke spends the rest of the film up until the climax abducting the Titans one by one to sate his own want for revenge against Damien, as well as to deliver them to Brother Blood for a nice chunk of change. I'm going to start glossing over most of the second half of this movie because, one, after the sexual grooming scene, the film does not deserve to be talked about in depth, and two, it's surprisingly boring. Tara's a legitimate psychopath. I feel no empathy or interest in the emotional plight of a psychopath. Sue me. Please don't sue me, DC. I've already been sued once. I don't want to be sued again. That shit blows. So all the Titans except for Nightwing are abducted by Deathstroke and taken to Brother Blood. Tara has gone full villain at this point. But plot twist, and newsflash, Tara, Deathstroke actually sells you out as well. Guess it sucks to be a bitch, huh? Brother Blood straps all the Titans into a weird machine, which is then risen into a coliseum filled with blood cultists. That's right. It's climax time. Thank God it's climax time. The machine starts to drain the heroes of their powers. Oh! Right in my powers! Brother Blood begins to absorb that good. He's like making a lasagna of powers, for example. How could I better... A linguine of powers. It tastes like pasta, I can only assume. Unfortunately for Brother Blood's pasta recipe, Nightwing shows up and stops the draining prematurely. Oh, how kinky, Nightwing. I didn't know you were into... edge play. He arrived a bit too late, however, seeing as Blood Bro now has the powers of each of the Titans. That's one spicy lasagna. Why am I doing this joke? We're doing it, though. We're doing it. Damien and Nightwing fight Deathstroke, while the rest of the Titans deal with this super blood. I really love this scene because there's this great little cartoon bonk that Damien gives to Deathstroke.
Hey, Papa, here's your pipe.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh man, I love the little fucker boy. Tara does the first likable thing she's done all film.
Don't you know I am the chosen? Don't you know I am the...
Oh man, there's nothing better than watching a dude get hit with a rock. I mean, man, we are just cavemen, huh? Anyways, Tara eventually causes the entire Coliseum to crash down, killing all the bad guys and herself, as the good guys escape. After an epilogue of Beast Boy on a talk show, it's finally over. Yes! Oh, Leon, it's over. It's over. Yes! It's time for my thoughts. Oh my god, there was so much vodka in that. I want to say to the writers of the original Judas Contract comics, Marv Wolfman and George Perez, fuck you. Do you think I'm being too harsh? Here's a quote from co-creator George Perez. I wanted her to be cute, but not beautiful. She looked like a young girl. Her body was slim. She wasn't particularly busty. I wanted her to look almost 11, so that when you see her for the first time wearing full makeup and dressed in a provocative outfit, where you know she's just been in bed with Deathstroke, that it does jab you a bit. Whoa, good God, this little girl is a slut. You are scum. You are the scum of the earth. And a big fuck you, too, to Warner Bros. Who greenlighted this shit and cast the icon Miguel Ferrer, who is the voice of Deathstroke, in a film that serves as nothing more than a character assassination for a great villain. And this was Miguel Ferrer's last role. He died of throat cancer. That's worse than sad. It sucks, man. Like that, there aren't words. As I mentioned in the plot summary, Tara's character is immediately unlikable and never once interesting. I could say more, but I can just let the movie say it for me.
He took you in, helped you.
Yeah, well, thanks. Now you're gonna die.
Geez, not a lot of gray area there, huh?
The only scenes that are of any real value in the entire film are basically monologues from Beast Boy, surprisingly. The first is a discussion between Beast Boy and Tara where he tells her that each of the Titans has horrible problems, and each of them has traumas in their past. Ones that they continue to live with and struggle with. This scene, as well as his discussion on the talk show and the epilogue, provide a real depth to Beast Boy's character that hasn't really been displayed or explored in different Teen Titans media on a screen, for example. And it's good.
I think pain is what makes a hero. It's like a pressure that either forms a diamond or grinds you into dust.
Also, we get another example of the Nightwing gets his arm dislocated trope. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't have a problem with it. It's just weird. So in conclusion, this film is a big fucking skip. The good is not even close to worth the absolutely disgustingly bad. I was initially going to give this film a 2 out of 5. That's the memory I kind of had of it. It was alright, but it definitely wasn't good. After rewatching it, absolutely not. This is a 1 out of 5. It's a 1 out of 5. Fuck this film. Fuck everyone who worked on it. I mean, how do you work on this and not see that there's a problem with what you're putting on the screen? Anyway, I don't want to leave on a low note though, so I'll close this one out with a fitting Thanksgiving message from Beast Boy. Have a happy Family Day, everybody.
Well, Kev, I guess the most important thing to being a Titan is to have a strong sense of family. Some of us don't have our own, so we support the ones that do.